Hello, you're with Andrew and Vanessa here on the Yogi Moksha channel. Today we have a short sequence which is going to be focused on the spine. Andrew's kindly volunteered to be our demonstrator today. So we're going to essentially move the spine in all its natural directions of movement. So we'll do some twists and a little bit of bending side to side and backwards and forwards. So because it is a short sequence, you're going to jump straight into things and come to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Closing down the eyes, or if you feel more comfortable, you can simply direct your gaze towards the floor. We're just going to take a couple of moments to bring our attention to the breath. Start to let go of anything you may have brought to the practice today, any stresses, worries from outside of the room. Just allow them to float on past as you bring your attention to your breath. Taking a deep inhale here and a nice long exhale. And then allow your breath to come to a natural rhythm. Not controlling it, just observing as you breathe in and you breathe out. And as we notice our breath, it will probably naturally start to become a little slower as your body starts to relax. All the internal processes start to calm down. And it's important that we take this time just to prepare ourselves so that when we move into our practice, we're in a good state of mind, ready to start to receive the benefits of the poses. So taking one more inhale now, long exhale. And then when you're ready, gently opening the eyes or bringing the gaze back up. We're going to come into our first posture for today, and we're going to do that by starting in a position which is lying on the front. So Andrew, if you could just come to lying on your mat on your stomach. You can prop yourself up on your elbows so that you're in a sphinx-like position. We're going to be coming into the cat-tail, which is a nice twist for the spine, gives you some stretch through the side body, and also gives a bit of an arch to the spine. So from this sphinx position, if you could bend one leg up alongside you. So Andrew's chosen his left leg. It's probably easiest if we all use the left leg. And then you're going to rest your head on your right hand. So our teacher calls this a lying at the beach pose. From here, you're going to walk the right leg out to the side as far as you can. So just using the toes to move that out to the side. And then reaching back with the left arm, bending at the leg, taking hold of that right foot. And already here, you'll be starting to feel a little twist in the spine. You can choose to stay here. Or if you'd like to take it a bit further, you can allow your body to fall backwards towards the floor. That hand that was supporting the head can come out to the side, or you might like to leave it rested underneath your head as a pillow. Your choice. Shoulders, knees don't need to be touching the floor. Not everybody will be able to rotate as much through the spine as Andrew is showing here. So if you're finding you're a little in the air. You could choose to support yourself with a bolster or a block under the shoulder or under the front knee. Or if you're comfortable, just sort of hanging in space, and that's also okay. No need to use the props. So what you should be feeling here is a twist through the spine. There's also a bit of an arch in the back as you're reaching back to take hold of that back foot. So we're ringing through the spine and we're also bending backwards. So this posture is a bit of a super posture in that you get a lot of benefits from the one posture. And in addition to working on the spine, you might be finding you're feeling a stretch through the obliques, maybe a stretch through the glutes and the hip of that top leg. You may even be feeling an opening across the chest and along that arm that's stretched out to the side. Head could be in a neutral position here, or you could try turning it to the left or to the right, seeing what impact that has on the pose for you. If you do at any stage feel any sort of tingling in the neck or even in the fingers of the outstretched hand, then maybe just try adjusting the position of your head to make sure you're not pressing any nerves in the neck. Just a few more seconds here. So just trying to remain still, relaxing the muscles in the body. And with your next breath, gently releasing out of the pose, rolling back onto your front. Coming back into that Sphinx position. So taking the weight on the elbows so that your torso is up and your legs are down the length of the mat. We're going to take the position to the other side. So this time bending that right knee up alongside you. It can be bent up any amount. Resting the head in the opposite hand and then walking that left leg out to the side as far as you can before bending at the knee and reaching back with your right arm to take hold of the foot or the ankle. Remembering you could remain in this position if that's what you prefer. Or if you're looking for a bit more of a twist, then just allowing the body to roll back towards the floor. Arm that's supporting the head can come into whatever position is comfortable for you. Again, feeling that twist through the spine, slight arching of the spine. Nice gentle stretch through the side muscles of the body, perhaps through the glute and the hip area. Once you've found your position, just trying to relax all the muscles and become still here. So in our yin postures, we do hold them for a longer period than many hatha yoga practices. And the reason we do that is because we're looking to stretch not the muscles necessarily, but the connective tissues surrounding the muscles in the body, surrounding our bones, joint capsules. And it does take a little longer for those tissues to relax and start to lengthen. And so this holding of the posture for some time is a very important part of the yin practice to ensure those connective tissues can release. while we are in these longer holds, just turning the attention in, noticing what you're feeling in the body. Noticing if there are any areas of tension. Are there any muscles that you could relax here? Sometimes we unconsciously hold tension in our jaw, in our shoulders. So just ensuring that all parts of the body are relaxed when you're in the pose. Gently now we're going to come out of the position. So just releasing the foot, rolling out of the posture. Because we do have just a short practice, we're not going to be taking rebounds between the postures today. So we're going to come straight into our next position by rolling onto the back. Our next posture, we're going to move the spine into lateral flexion, so bending to each side. So we're going to start by bringing the arms up above the head, taking hold of opposite elbows. And then, if you can, just shuffle your torso, so your shoulders and your torso to one side of the body while keeping, one side of the mat while keeping the hips relatively still. And once you've moved your shoulders across to that side, try and move your legs and feet also to the same side. So you're coming into a bit of a banana shape. So what we're doing is essentially creating a stretch down one side of the body and a compression down the other side. The legs sometimes don't want to stay where they are, so you could try crossing the ankles, either foot on top. Just see what works for you here. And when you've found your position, coming to a place of stillness. Feeling that stretch right down the outside of the curve that your body's creating here. Your spine's moving in a direction that we don't always take very often, sort of bending to the side, but it is designed to do that movement. So we're taking the spine into a range of movement that is important, that it remembers it needs to do. So again, trying to ensure that all your muscles here are relaxed. Not gripping too hard to the elbows. We're not holding tension in the jaw or in the feet. Sinking into the posture, allowing the connective tissues that run right the way down the side of our body to open, release. And again, moving slowly and with care, Coming back to the neutral position, lying straight down the center of your mat. Just taking a moment to allow the body to adjust before we move to the other side. So when you're ready, bringing those arms back up over the head, taking hold of opposite elbows, and just shuffling the chest and shoulders across to the opposite side of the mat this time. When you get there, you can do the same with your legs and feet, trying to keep your hips to one side while your arms and legs move to the other side into a nice bendy banana shape or a C shape. Remembering you could cross one foot on top of the other if that helps you remain in position. And if your hips do come off the ground a little, that's okay. You may also find that one side of the body is a little tighter than the other. It usually is. And if you find that the shape that you have on this side is a little different to the last side, just know that that's very normal. Just work with what your body allows you to do here. Finding your position, becoming still. Observing what's happening to your body and to your breath as you hold in this position. Feeling that stretch all the way down the side of the body. Knowing that you're moving your spine into lateral flexion. And just breathe into any areas of tension you may be feeling here. Taking one more breath in this banana shape. And then slowly coming back out of this position. Taking just a few seconds here to allow your spine to realign itself. And then when you're ready, pushing up to a seated position, legs straight out in front. For our next pose, we're going to round the spine. So there are a couple of options for how we can do this. We can use the caterpillar posture to essentially just round forward over the legs. So Andrew's using a bolster here to help him bring that rounding into the spine. And that's certainly an option for you. If you don't have a bolster or a prop handy, you can just round over the legs without that. Just remember, we're not coming down to touch the head to the knees. It's actually a little better if you sit a bit higher up so that your spine is rounding and neck is dangling here. If you're comfortable in this position, you're feeling you're getting a good stretch down the length of your spine from the neck right down to the tailbone, then you can feel free to stay exactly where you are. If you'd like a little bit more, then an option is to bring this posture onto your back. So Andrew's going to demonstrate the option of plough or snail. So coming to lying on his back, knees come in towards the forehead. So you can use your arms to sort of push up here, support yourself with your hands on the back of your hips if you wish. And then legs come down towards the mat. So this will give you the same rounding through the spine. It's essentially the same position as the caterpillar, just flipped upside down. If this gives you a good stretch through your spine, then you could stay here. Or if you still need a little more, then there is the option to bend the knees alongside the ears. This is quite an advanced posture and will give you a lot of stretch, particularly through the cervical or the neck part of your spine. So know that we've still got another 2 minutes in this posture, and really only coming into this version of the posture if it is something that you feel is good for your body, is not going to cause you any injury. Of course, in any versions of the posture, you can choose to come out at any stage if you are feeling a lot of discomfort. And certainly if you're feeling any pain or pinching in the neck or in the back, then please do come out and just come to lying on your back. Or if you've taken a version that you cannot hold for the duration, then know that there are always other options available to you. So if you've come into the snail or the plough position, you can always come out of that position early and just come back to the caterpillar as another option. So we have just 1 more minute here now. Wherever you are, trying to remain still, allowing those connective tissues, the fascia of your body, to relax and release. In this pose, we're creating a little extra space between the vertebra, on the outside or the back side of the spine, and a little less space between the inside of the vertebra or the front side of the spine. We're also stretching the muscles that run all the way down either side of the spine here. With your next breath coming out of the pose, just come back to lying on your back for a moment if you've been in that upside down position. Just giving a moment for the body to adjust. And then when you feel ready, coming back to an upright seated position for our final posture, which is another twist, this time more for the upper part of the spine, so the thoracic part of the spine. So we're going to come from our seated position, we're going to bend one leg in front so that it's in a sort of an L shape, and then the other leg comes back behind us a little. So you almost become to a bit of a 90-degree angle with the legs and the feet. We're then going to twist. So that we're coming into what we call a twisted deer position. You can choose to remain in an upright position here. You are getting a great twist through the upper part of your spine here. Or if you'd like to take the position a little further, then you could choose to come down onto the elbows, onto a prop if you have a bolster handy. Some people like to use a bolster here to rest their body on the bolster. Or a third option is to bring the body right down to the mat. So just adjusting yourself to find that twist through the upper part of the body here for you. Perhaps adjusting the position of the head, seeing what impact that might have on the posture. And then settling into stillness. Just enjoying this twist through the spine. With your next inhale, coming out of the position and preparing to move to the other side. So swapping the bend of your legs, twisting towards that front, the leg that's bent in front. Remembering you could remain just in a seated twist here. So a standard twisted deer, we would call it. If you'd like to take the posture a little further, you can come down onto your elbows or down onto a bolster. Or that third option is to bring the body right down to the floor. And as we've said before, the version of the posture that you take on this side may be different to the version that you took on the last side. We're not symmetrical through the body, and it's quite likely that one side will feel a lot tighter, a lot more difficult to come into the posture. So just come to the place that your body allows. Allow the muscles to relax. Notice if you're holding the breath here, or maybe holding any tension. Try to let that go. Just enjoying the twist through the spine on this side. observing what we feel in the body while we're in this position. Where do we feel a stretch? What else are we noticing physically in the body? What are we feeling right now? Taking one more deep breath in the pose. And then slowly unwinding. And we're going to come to lying on our backs for a well-deserved rebound. So just finding yourself in a comfortable position. If you need some support under the knees, then you might choose to put a bolster or a folded blanket or towel under the knees. Allow the body to relax here. We have rounded the spine, we've arched the spine, we've twisted in both directions. We've flexed the spine to either side. And now we're just allowing the body time to absorb the benefits that we've created through these postures. Perhaps the most important posture of all is just allowing yourself to take a moment of rest after your practice. As we did at the start of the practice, we can bring our attention here to the breath. Again, taking a deep inhale. And a long exhale. I hope you've enjoyed this short practice for the spine. Take as much time as you need here in this rebound, or perhaps it's become your Shavasana for today. We hope to see you again soon for another practice. Namaste.